Hello there, and welcome to the Anthropocene. In this set of presentations, we're finally tackling the problem of relevance. A lot of times when I lecture about evolutionary perspectives on behavior, students find the material very interesting, but then they ask, well, how is that relevant to my life today? And we're going to be studying some of the big problems that the world is facing now and try to understand how we can use evolutionary perspectives to solve them. We are at a unique time in human history where we really do occupy an Anthropocene, and by this we mean a human-dominated environment. So if we look at the activities or the different biomes on the Earth's surface in the year 1700, the light blue here you see is wildland, and most of the areas on the Earth do remain fairly undominated by humans, but you do see population centers such as in Europe, Central Africa, India, Japan, and China, and Indonesia, where there is a fair amount of human activity. However, once you fast forward just 300 years compared to, let's say, 10,000 years since the invention of agriculture, so just 300 years have passed, and now you can see how much of human activity dominates the world's surface. And if you're interested, here's the key. You can pause the lecture and see what types of activities are occurring on what types of land. So we've really seen this transition from biomes to anthromes. And if you look here at 1700, we can see the breakdown of uses of the Earth's surface. About 50% are wild woodlands and wild treeless or barren land. So 50% is wild in 1700, with some semi-natural areas, rangelands, and a very few dense urban settlements. And as we go forward 300 years, you can see how much of the Earth's surface has transitioned from wild to being used. So we really do see these human-dominated ecosystems around over the Earth's surface today. And in fact, about 60% of the Earth's resources are now directed towards human use. And we've seen some major consequences, such as what biologists are calling the sixth major extinction. There's been 5 major extinctions over the course of the Earth's history. And what we've seen, even since the early 1900s, has been a massive extinction of marine, terrestrial, and freshwater species. So you can see here in this graph how if we're marking the percentage of species on Earth at 100% in 1970, that has decreased by decreased 40% already in the last 30 years. If you look at that black line, it goes down from 100 to just about 60. So we've already lost almost half of the species that we were even able to observe in 1970. And part of this is the way that we extract resources now, and it's fairly obvious that our well-being is linked to a material infrastructure based on inequality that cannot be globalized. So as we continue to extract resources from less developed areas like the Amazon, there's going to be fewer and fewer resources left, fewer and fewer areas to extract them from. And this global system based on haves and haves not can't be extended to everybody, because it requires that we do have some haves not who are engaged in things like manufacturing. And it can be argued that the shape of our future depends on our capacity for altruism and cooperation, as there are more people who have to share fewer resources and get along with one another to do so. So I encourage you to take a look at the following presentations on population growth and resource use. Thanks for listening.